Let's take a look at this $20 LED neon sign versus this 25 times the price $500 LED neon sign. Is it really worth the extra $480? Let's take a look. First off, I just want to say I did not pay $500 for that sign. That is how much it was regularly listed for, but thankfully we got a pretty good discount on it, and I'll explain that in a minute. So this sign on my right was literally $20. It came from Wenzing. I think it is literally the cheapest LED sign you can find, and it can be powered by 3 AA batteries, or you can plug it into a USB charging adapter. At the moment, it is plugged into a USB adapter. And right on the box, it does tell us it is made in China, which I would assume. Now moving on to the next one, the $500 sign. This one we bought from a website called Neon Beach, and when we ordered it, we chose the cyan color. And I was just scrolling through their website. It looks like they are handmade in London. That would explain why on their website all their prices are in pounds. And speaking of prices, they do put their signs on sale. We got ours 40% off on Black Friday. So if you see a sign on their website that you like, I would recommend waiting until it goes on sale, unless you need it like right away. But it does come with 2 power options, which is kind of cool. Another thing I should mention, it is also significantly bigger than the other sign. It is probably at least 4 or 5 times the size, so that makes a little bit more sense. Also, I want to mention, yes, I am very aware that these are not level. It's like a diagonal, and it's kind of driving me nuts, but there was already a nail there. So let's talk about some of the features, starting with the Amazon sign. You plug it in. That's it. There's no settings, there's no features. You just plug it in, it lights up. It's like a lamp, an LED lamp. Now moving on to the Neon Beach sign, it does have a power cable. It looks basically like a laptop adapter. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if it literally is. And then it comes with a remote with a receiver to control it. So there's a bunch of different modes. Now all the modes you can change the speed. Let me keep going through the modes. Looks like we got a flash. It's kind of like a dark to bright. I got these on a pretty fast setting right now. On and off mode. That's just a straight flash, and then a nice slow dim. And then there's a button in the middle to just put it back to normal. Now this is 30% brightness, we have 10% brightness, and this is 100% brightness. Most of the time we're using this light at around 10%, and if Claire is streaming, we literally bring it all the way down to 1%, or whatever the lowest would be. But for this video, I think 30% looked pretty good. It looks like on the remote you also have some timer settings. Honestly, we've never used them, but you definitely get some more features with this light. Now let's talk about arrival time. The Amazon light, as you would expect, it's Amazon, it literally came in 2 days, but the Neon Beach sign took 2 months to arrive. Now that being said, these Neon Beach signs, they're not mass produced. It sounds like there's a team of people in London who order the parts and they hand create them and then ship them globally. So I mean, it makes sense. They have to make your sign for you, and there's probably a queue, where on the other hand, these Amazon ones are probably sitting in a factory that were just mass produced in China. I think this is one of those cases where on the left, you're really just paying for someone's time and effort into creating this, where on the right, you're literally paying for some LED lights and some plastic. That being said, if we take a look at the quality of materials on these lights, with the Neon Beach sign, everything's kind of made out of this like soft rubber that they glue into the cuts of the plexiglass. And then of course, it also came with the wall mounts to put it into the wall. Now on the right with the Amazon light, you can tell that they just bought a strip of LED and shoved it into a plastic mold. In fact, if I go over there right now, I can pull the LED right out of the plastic. Let's take a look. Just pops right out. And when it arrived in the mail, I was kind of confused because it was kind of popped out and I had to push it back in, but I realized there's literally nothing in there to hold it. So I think overall, if you're looking at this frame right here and you're looking at these 2 LED signs, you might not know from afar the actual quality difference in these 2 lights. And one more thing, I almost forgot, the one problem I do have with this light is actually the refresh rate. On the camera, I have my shutter speed set to 1/40, which is actually 1 click below where you would typically have it at 148, but look at what happens when I switch to 148. But if we look at the Amazon sign, no flicker at all, nothing. But at 148, flicker city. Now if I go to full brightness, it kind of goes away. There's still a little bit of flicker. Even at 90%, the flicker's there. At 100, it sort of goes away, but I don't want this sign at 100%. I want it at like 10% or 30%. Thankfully with the Fujifilm at 1/40th shutter speed, it does go away. On the Canon camera, however, 1/40th does not do it. Not really the camera's faults here, it's definitely the sign. I've even tried switching into PAL mode and shooting in 25 frames. I don't know if it's because the actual LEDs are from China or maybe they're from London. Regardless, I think it is a regional product problem. So is the quality difference and all the features, is that worth it? The extra $480 versus the $20 sign? I think for most people, probably not. I think when it is worth it is when you're getting a custom sign, something that is very specific and unique to you. That is when I think you can justify paying over 20 times the price. Neon Beach actually has a very impressive library of designs for you to choose from, and it looks like you can also upload your own design. Or on the other hand, with the Amazon Lite, you kind of just get what you get at whatever size they have. It's a lot less personal, but in this case, Clara really likes Sailor Moon, and that is where the moon comes from. Where I like editing and video games, and that's where the WASD comes from. So in my case, I think it was totally worth it. I do not regret getting the $500 sign, but at the same time, I don't mind a cheap $20 Amazon sign as well. Well, if you are in the market for an LED neon sign, hopefully this video can help you out. If not, I hope it was mildly fascinating. Thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Also, you can like, subscribe if you want, but you don't have to. You don't have to subscribe.